Hey there, what is up? I'm Scott Welsh, and we get together every week to talk about how to use trading systems to beat the market. And we've got an interesting take on a system we looked at last week. So go back and watch that video from last week if you haven't. Let's move on. Three things we're going to talk about today. Better on paper doesn't mean better. That sounds intriguing. We'll talk about that. What the Slingshot trading system looks like on a daily chart. Remember, last week we talked about day trading it on a 15-minute chart. And are there advantages of trading anything on a bigger chart? We'll discuss that too. This is the portion where we get to know me a little bit until I have my studio show on YouTube that takes over the world. I like to show a picture of me. And this is a shot. I was very, very excited on this trading day. Had a bunch of my friends over to my house. This guy kept talking on his phone, a little annoying. This guy was pretty sad, but I was pumped up. I think soybeans went up a quarter tick point. So I was pretty pumped about that. Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's talk about what better means compared to hypothetically better. And sorry for all the print. I get excited when I want to write stuff down and talk to you about it. All right. As I mentioned yesterday in the newsletter, numbers for day trading systems seem to show that if you are a day trader, you can potentially make more money. It is more profitable day trading than it is long-term trading. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, gosh darn it, get on the email list. There it is, scottwelsh.me. Just click the button, get on the list right now. Everybody's doing it. Well, cool people are. Now, as we mentioned, the pound Swiss currency pair, so this is a Forex, right? We're going to talk about the slingshot on other things, although we won't talk about the slingshot forever. I'm just on a slingshot tear because why? It's the first robot automated trading system I ever built. And we can go back to 2012 and see how it's traded forward since then, which is a useful tool, right? That's a lot of years seeing a system trade. It's very, very useful to see something that happened years ago and how it's performed. It's a learning experience. So that's why we're talking about it. But on the pound Swiss slingshot system, on the 15-minute chart, for sure that was the case. Day trading did better than long-term trading. Okay. But just so you know, that's one system, right? We're talking about a very, very broad, dare I say, important topic. And we just looked at one trading system that's not really indicative, right? I know. However, you know I've talked about the Heron. There's a whole playlist on this very YouTube channel you can go watch. I've talked about the Hornet, which is my second oldest robot that's available to lifetime members. And I've talked about those for a long time, since 2013-ish. Now, I have done hundreds, plural, of hours testing those two particular systems. And guess what? If I put that system on a daily chart or a long-term chart, which for me, long-term is 240 minutes or above, okay? So we know what we're talking about. 240 minutes, 480 minute, that's kind of a weird chart, but yeah, I mean, that counts. Daily, weekly, monthly, those are all considered quote-unquote long-term to me. But both the Heron and the Hornet have produced more money with comparable drawdown on 15-minute charts than on bigger charts. So yes, the pound Swiss slingshot showed us that day trading appears to make more money, but that's not the only place I've seen it. In fact, everything I've tested, it turns out that there's more money on paper to day trade it, right? It's happened every time. Now, again, I'm open-minded. Maybe it won't happen next system I test, but I'm just saying, all right? However, that all being said, that day trading seems to produce more profit on every single system I look at, that doesn't mean it's actually better. And this is so important. In fact, it's so important that I wrote it on the first slide here with an exclamation mark. That's how important it is, right? When better isn't really better. For example, if you want to lose weight, 10, 20, 30 pounds, and you look up a diet and you read the testimonials and you see the success stories, right? This diet is great. It's caused 86% of the people to lose 10 pounds in the first 6 weeks. It's awesome. On paper, that sounds great. It gets us where we want to go. But if the diet is so strict and so unreasonable and leads to daily sadness because you're out of energy or it just makes you sad to eat this particular type of food, if we don't follow it, it doesn't work. Okay? Doesn't matter what it says on paper. What matters is what we will actually do in real life. That's why our habits in real life are so critical. They have to be repeatable and doable. It's a little bit of, life lessons there. But anyway, now getting back to topic, day trading might be more profitable on paper. Okay. But it doesn't matter if we can't follow the rules. Okay. Well, why wouldn't we follow the rules? Well, number one, emotions. If you are a day trader, and that means maybe one trade a day, maybe, 2 to 4 trades a week, right? Don't necessarily have to trade every day to be a day trader. I'm considering a day trader anything on like a 15-minute chart or lower, okay? But if you're day trading, whether you take a trade that day or not, you will be doing work. You'll be on the charts. You'll be watching it all day. And if you are, and you go through a losing streak, yikes, what is it like to go to the screen in a losing streak? It's horrible. Who wants to get up, look at charts, go through all the emotions, and then lose and have more emotions on top of that? Not great, right? That leads to maybe not taking more trades or fatigue. Trading 5 days a week, looking at the charts, hours and hours and hours. What if I just get tired? I'm tired of sitting there. How can you get tired of sitting down? It's true. It's our brains that get fatigued, not our bodies. Our bodies can pretty much do whatever. When our brains get fatigued, done, out, finished. Okay. Maybe it's not physically possible. Maybe we have to sleep and a trade goes off at 2 a.m. Well, can't take that trade. Or the spreads get crazy and you think it should have been a winning trade, but it's not. Or it should have been a big winning trade and it's just a medium winning trade. That affects our results going forward. But there's a lot going on in day trading. Now, I try to build in trading costs. I try to make my testing as real as possible. I go overboard to make sure that my testing results are reasonable. Of course, they're all hypothetical, right? Unless I tell you differently, it's all hypothetical for fun, entertainment, and learning purposes. But in those cases, emotions, fatigue, it's not physically possible, spreads screw it up. All of those paper profits that we saw, they don't mean a thing. They didn't really happen in real life, or they mean zilch. That's a weird word, but I just couldn't resist writing it. Okay. So what's the solution to all that? Well, long-term trading. Yay! That's the solution. Okay. If long-term trading makes us take every trade, then guess what? Practice results, testing results, demo results happen in real life. And now we've got a legitimate goal, a legitimate expectation going forward. So let's take a look at that. Still talking about the slingshot, right? Now, we're going to look at a daily chart and we're going to show you the entry again. Last week, I did show the entry in the last week's YouTube video. It's a little bit complicated. It will be good to go over it again, okay? If we watch the charts all day for the slingshot entry on the 15, that's a lot of work because number one, this system trades 24 hours a day. Now, because of the nature of the system, you can kind of see trades coming, so you wouldn't really have to watch it. You just have to check in with it. Like, you don't have to watch it every second. You know when a trade's setting up and you know when a trade's not setting up. However, you do have to be diligent. Or if you're in a situation where you know a trade might happen, now you've got to sit down. Hopefully you can be at the computer and you've got to get this complicated entry, which I'm not proud of, but that's the way it is, okay? So there are ways to miss these trades on a specific system like the Slingshot, or maybe the system that you use. It's possible to miss trades, but it would be nearly impossible to miss a trade on a daily chart. I mean, it doesn't trade that often. You have a whole day to see that bar form. You will see it coming a mile away, and it will be, and you don't have to rush to get the trade done. Okay. So let's take a look at what that would be, because again, we'd love for the results to be realistic. We don't want to say, oh, day trading can produce this if it can't really produce it. All right, this is the entry for the pound Swiss short trade. All right, short trades are below the SMA and long trades are above the SMA. Right? Simple, just a way to filter out and to get us focused. There are systems where that doesn't matter, but this one I built it and it does. Now, check this out. On the 15-minute chart, as you know, did you catch this? It's on the 800 period simple moving average. On the daily chart, it's a 200 period simple moving average. Pretty interesting, huh? You don't need to take it out quite so far on a daily chart, but that's another topic for another time. All right. It has to touch fair value, the 200 simple moving average, less than 120 bars ago, right? So you have 120 days that you have to look for trades. Again, you can see these coming a mile away. We want it to go down for a short trade, right? So we want a touch of the upper band. The upper band, we want it to bounce off the upper band and fall down in our direction. And that has to happen no more than 18 bars ago. So it has to happen within 18 days. Daily bars has to happen, right? It can't touch a Bollinger Band 6 years ago, and that's a trigger for the entry, right? Okay. The PSAR, the parabolic SAR, has to be broken in our direction, which I think is confusing, but I'll show you. And stochastics must have gone into overbought. It must have gone up into the extreme at some point. So we must touch the upper, PSAR must break, and stochastics, all of that must have happened. If one of those didn't happen, there is no trade. Okay? Pause. Got it? Okay. Now, our target is 360 pips. Our stop loss is 180 pips. And we're going to move to break even at 48 pips of profit. And we're not going to just move our stop to break even. We're going to move it to break even plus 10. All right, these are new numbers. These are not the same as the 15-minute chart as we would expect. All right, there is what it looks like. And I'll go to the chart on my trade station, but you can see that's a recent winning trade from 2018. All right, let's slide over. All right, let's expand this out. You can see, I got a whole bunch of Slingshot charts on my screen. Like I said, I've been tracking this for a long time, since 2012. All right, here we go. I will get rid of that little cursor. All right, this is the simple moving average right there. And we've got a touch of the simple moving average. So now we're looking for a breakout. It has come back to equilibrium. Now we're ready for a breakout, right? What do things do? After a rest, it's got to go somewhere. So we know that. And at the same time, it's touched the upper band of the Bollinger Band, right? And the Bollinger Band is set to 20, as we know. Okay, goodbye. So that's set to 20, right? This is my indicator made by my friend Rob Booker that counts how many bars since it's touched. If it's gray, right, then we know that it's in a trade territory, okay? We know it's in trade territory. So it's touched. Let's double check this, by the way. I'm just curious because it's perfect as it should have been, okay? Just making sure. 200 simple moving average, got it? Touch, touch. We know it's just touch, so we know we have a trade. We have 120 bars to take a trade. Oh, look, stochastic, right? Stochastic has gone into overbought, right? Stochastic set to 7 with a extreme reading low of 20 and extreme reading high of 81. So we've got everything going for us. And now we need a break of the PSAR. You can see that it, just like a trend line, it follows below and then price shoots down and gobbles up like a Pac-Man, gobbles it up, and now we're in a short trade. You can see that the dot, well, maybe you can't see it, but the dot goes from under blue to on top magenta. Maybe you can't see it, but it does. Okay, boom. We've got touch, Bollinger Band, stochastic, all that's happened. All we need is the last thing to happen, and that is a break of the PSAR. We're in at the close, and you can see then it hit our profit target. Yay! That's how it works, okay? If I missed anything that you need, of course, you can always email me. All right, back to the presentation. Here's the performance report. If you did such things with that entry and you followed the rules from 2012 to 2018, here's what we got. We got a net profit. Now, this is a very small trade size, 0.1 lots, right? Very small. You could raise this trade size to anything you want. I know that's a minuscule amount of money, but the people that email me many times trade small accounts, so I like to look at small numbers. You can multiply, make this a full lot, 1.0 lots, whatever you want to do, okay? Made that amount, you can see that the max drawdown was only 329 bucks. That's a very nice profit to drawdown ratio. Profit factor is just ridiculous because of the nature of the system. Average winning trade, pretty big. Average losing trade is only $5 because of that move to break even. So that's nice. Percent profitable, 66.6%. These are pretty good numbers, right? So, hey, that's great. Well, do you remember from last week? Whoa, there's the 15-minute. The exact same time period, 48.83, right? Winning percentage goes way up, again, because of the move to break even, plus 10 pips. That is a lot more profit. Now, it does over more than 2 times increase the drawdown, right? But let's go back. Even if we made the drawdown the same, multiply by 2, we're looking at 2,900 there. And for day trading, it's 48.83. Do you see what I'm saying? On paper, even though the daily chart, by all metrics, seems pretty good, the day trading pretty much beat the pants off of it from a profit to drawdown standpoint, okay? So what's the bottom line? Well, the bottom line is, hey, you got another system. I promise I'm going to start talking about systems on the newsletter / email / YouTube channel, and you got another system. You got the entry, you got all the numbers, so congratulations to you. It's the first of many, 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 many systems we're going to talk about, and I hope it helps. Even if it's not something you trade, maybe it sparks an idea, because that is the point. I want to spark your ideas to find a system that makes money for you, okay? But the bottom line, that aside, is that it seems like day trading wins out. That's what this is very typical for my research. The day trading numbers seem to win out. But let's go back to what we've talked about. This, even on a 15-minute chart, the profit targets were huge. And if you miss a couple trades due to emotions fatigue, remember all the things we talked about, then that 48.83 number is not going to happen. And that needs to be seriously considered. What if you're on vacation and you missed one of those huge winners? What if there's a family emergency, couldn't get to the charts for a couple weeks, and you missed a big winner? On a daily chart, really none of that's going to happen. You can be on vacation and take this trade. You can have a family emergency and take this trade, right? What are the chances you'll even be in a trade? They're not nearly as high. So this is a big deal, something I really want you to take away from this. If long-term trading is guaranteed to happen, if you're for sure going to take all those trades, and day trading is not guaranteed, now guess what? Who wins? Right? Guess what wins? Long-term trading wins if those numbers are real and day trading numbers are fake. Right? That is the biggest lesson for this particular video. Now, if you can take all those trades or automate those trades, and I think the other takeaway is, day trading seems to win, right? All right, that's all for this week. Something I really want you to look at in your systems, because the numbers are showing that day trading wins, but it's got to really win. All right, could be some changes coming with my courses. I'll let you know about that. Go to scottwelsh.me. I talked about that, and there's the contact info. All right, that's all for this week. Can't wait to talk to you again, and we'll do so soon. Bye for now.